three American muscle cars were so powerful. They scared insurance companies, dominated drag strips, and became legends that car enthusiasts still obsess over more than 50 years later. But here's the question. Out of every Mustang, Charger, Camaro, Chevelle, and Challenger ever built, which muscle cars truly deserve a spot in the top 3? Today we're counting down the 3 greatest muscle cars in history. And trust me, the car at number 1 wasn't just fast. It started a horsepower war that changed America forever. Let's fire them up. At number 3, we have a car that didn't just look powerful. It looked dangerous. The 1970 Dodge Charger R/T was the kind of car that could make a quiet street feel like a drag strip before the engine even started. One look at that long hood, wide body, hidden headlights, and aggressive front grille, and you knew this wasn't built for people who wanted to blend in. The Charger was built for people who wanted to be noticed. And in 1970, Dodge gave buyers plenty of reasons to notice it. The standard R/T came with the legendary 440 Magnum V8. Officially, it made 375 horsepower, but that was only the beginning. For buyers who wanted something even crazier, Dodge offered the 446 pack. 3 two-barrel carburetors sitting on top of a massive big block V8. It made around 390 horsepower and delivered brutal low-end torque. But then came the engine every muscle car fan dreams about. The 426 Hemi, officially rated at 425 horsepower. But almost nobody believed that number. Most enthusiasts agree the real output was much higher. Some estimates put it close to 500 horsepower. And in 1970, that kind of power was insane. This wasn't just a car that could smoke its tires. It could destroy them. The Charger R/T could launch from 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds, depending on the engine and setup. And on the quarter mile, it could embarrass plenty of cars that looked faster on paper. But the Charger was more than just raw power. It had personality. The cockpit wrapped around the driver. The gauges looked serious. The seats held you in place. And the sound of that big block V8 was unforgettable. At idle, it rumbled like a warning. At full throttle, it sounded like thunder rolling through the streets. The Charger also became one of the biggest pop culture icons in automotive history. It appeared in the Dukes of Hazzard as the General Lee. It became famous again through the Fast and the Furious franchise. And even people who know nothing about classic cars can recognize its shape instantly. That is what makes the 1970 Dodge Charger R/T special. It wasn't just fast. It wasn't just beautiful. It became a symbol of American muscle. A loud, aggressive, unapologetic symbol. And that is why it takes the number 3 spot. But the next car was built for a completely different reason. Ford didn't build it to look cool. Ford built it because racing demanded it. At number 2, we have one of the rarest, wildest, and most misunderstood Mustangs ever built. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. At first glance, it looked like a Mustang with a hood scoop and some subtle upgrades. But under that hood was one of the biggest engines Ford had ever put into a production car. The Boss 429 existed because Ford wanted to dominate NASCAR. At the time, NASCAR required manufacturers to build a certain number of road cars using the same engine they wanted to race. So Ford had a problem. They had this enormous 429 cubic inch NASCAR engine, but it was too big to fit inside a normal Mustang engine bay. So Ford sent Mustangs to CarCraft, a special company that modified each car by hand. The shock towers had to be changed, the battery had to be moved to the trunk, the suspension had to be upgraded, even the engine bay had to be redesigned. This was not a normal assembly line Mustang. Every Boss 429 was basically a factory-built experiment, and the engine itself was something special. It had massive aluminum cylinder heads, huge ports, a forged steel crankshaft, 4-bolt main bearings, and a design inspired directly by NASCAR racing. Ford officially rated it at 375 horsepower, but that number was mainly for insurance purposes. In reality, many experts believe it made well over 500 horsepower in race trim. Even in street form, it had massive power waiting to be unleashed. The Boss 429 was not the easiest car to drive. That huge engine made the front end heavy. The clutch was tough, the steering required effort, and fuel economy was almost a joke. But none of that mattered, because when you pressed the throttle, you were driving something that felt closer to a race car than a street car. Only 859 Boss 429 Mustangs were built in 1969. That rarity turned it into a collector legend. Today, original examples can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some pristine cars can go even higher. But the real value isn't just the money. The Boss 429 represents a time when American manufacturers were willing to do crazy things simply to win races. Ford took a NASCAR engine, stuffed it into a Mustang, modified the entire car around it, and sold it to the public. That is pure muscle car madness. And that is why the Boss 429 takes number 2. But number 1 was different. It wasn't built because of NASCAR rules. It wasn't built to be subtle. It was built to dominate everything. And now, we arrive at the king. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. For many muscle car fans, this is the ultimate American muscle car, not because it had the best looks, not because it was the rarest, but because it had something every muscle car was chasing. Brutal, tire-shredding, earth-shaking power. The Chevelle SS already looked muscular. The wide stance, the bulging fenders, the twin headlights, the aggressive grille. It looked strong without trying too hard. But the real magic was hiding under the hood. Chevrolet offered several engines for the Chevelle SS, but the one everyone wanted was the LS6 454 cubic inch big block V8. This engine was officially rated at 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. In 1970, those numbers were unbelievable. This was one of the most powerful engines ever offered in an American production car. The LS6 had forged internals, a solid lifter camshaft, a massive Holley carburetor, and an extremely high compression ratio. It was built for one thing: power. And when that power hit the rear wheels, the Chevelle became a monster. 0 to 60 took around 6 seconds. The quarter mile could disappear in the mid-13-second range, and with the right driver, it could be even quicker. Remember, this was over 50 years ago, before modern traction control, before launch control, before computers helped drivers control power. The Chevelle gave you all that horsepower with nothing but a steering wheel, a gas pedal, and your courage. That's what made it exciting and terrifying. The LS6 Chevelle was not just fast in a straight line. It had the F41 performance suspension, stronger springs, upgraded shocks, and a rear stabilizer bar. It was still a heavy muscle car, but it could handle better than most people expected. Inside, it was simple: bucket seats, round gauges, a center console, a Hearst-style shifter, no giant screens, no driving modes, no electronic safety systems, just you, the engine, and the road. And that is exactly why people still love it. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 represents the peak of the horsepower wars, a time when American car companies were competing to build the biggest, loudest, fastest machines possible. Gas was cheap, insurance companies were scared, and every stoplight felt like the starting line of a race. Today, an original LS6 Chevelle can sell for enormous money at auction, but its true value comes from what it represents. It is the muscle car era at its absolute peak. Big engine, big power, big attitude. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 wasn't just a car, it was a warning to every other car on the road. And that is why it remains the king of muscle cars. So, do you agree with this list? Would you choose the Charger R/T, the Boss 429, and the Chevelle LS6? Or would you replace one of them with the Pontiac GTO, Plymouth Roadrunner, Dodge Challenger, or Buick GSX? Comment your number one muscle car below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more automotive documentaries, and I'll see you in the next one.